You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
A season of racing is about to come down to one race, and for 5 drivers, it is going to be a championship decider. Here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Merkel Racing Engines 500 here for the SCL Winston Cup Series. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. Alongside me tonight, my broadcast partner, Daniel Paulus Jr. And Daniel, 5 drivers have a very legitimate chance at winning this championship. The top 5 in points, separated by just 19 points going into tonight. Maxwell Caldwell, 2-time series champion already, is atop the pile. The driver currently sitting behind him is looking to sweep all 4 championships here this season. The other 3 are going to be looking for their first. It is going to be quite a race here tonight, quite 100 laps here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
All this racing does come down to tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Like you mentioned, Frank, 5 drivers have a legitimate shot here tonight to claim a championship for the series in the SCL Winston Cup Series here tonight.
Take a look at that championship race coming into tonight. Maxwell Caldwell leads those point standings. As I mentioned, Justin Lewis just 8 points behind. Lilith Peters, Johnny Wood Jr., Steven Johnson all also have a shot, sitting 10, 14, and 19 points out. Trevor Dalton does have an outside chance coming into this race. at just 49 points out. But still, he's going to need a lot to happen here tonight if he wants to walk away with the Season 36 title.
If I was Trevor Dalton, I would try my best. Use up all you can here tonight. See how your car's handling and hopefully win tonight and see if you could possibly claim this championship. It doesn't matter who does it. You just got to be there at the end.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a long race to the end. We are going to be at 100% fuel fill here tonight for 100 laps. And as you can see behind me, it is the old Atlanta surface, which means tire wear is going to be at a premium at the forefront of these drivers' minds to make sure that they do not run out of tires, because they are going to go away very, very quickly around this racetrack tonight.
You're going to want to use up you're going to want to save up as many tires as possible here tonight, and sets of tires. You're not going to want to waste your tires earlier on in this race, because if you do run out of tires, you're going to be in a big situation towards the end of the race where other drivers have saved a set of tires. So you don't want to be in the predicament where you don't have tires for the end, just in case if something would happen. So you want to try to save tires as much as possible in the first half of the race, see how your car is handling, and don't use up your tires.
And tonight, we mentioned this is the first race of the of championship week for us here on Sim Racing Media. We crowned 2 champions last week with the Western States Racing League, and then just on Saturday with the ISNF Cup Series, a fantastic race to close out their season at Kentucky. Here this week, we have 4 championships that we're going to be deciding here. Of course, all 4 of them here being with the SCL International Series. Winston Cup here tonight at Atlanta. The Super Truck Series as well will be here at Atlanta on Wednesday night. And then the 2 short track championships, the late model stocks and the street stocks, tomorrow night. That will be from 5 Flags. Justin Lewis has a very, very good chance at winning all 3 of those championships. He's got 3 wins in the Cup Series already this season. He is certainly going to be looking to add to that, and if he can, he has a very, very, very good chance at sweeping all 4 championships this season. But right now, we will go down to the racetrack here for qualifying, as the qualifying session has just begun, as we will take a look and see who will be the first driver out on track. And of those rolling, it would appear to be the namesake of this race who will get qualifying underway here tonight, Todd Merkel. Of course, with Merkel Racing Engine sponsoring the final race of the season, as he always does. And Todd Merkel has one of those drivers this season where if he's had bad luck, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all.
Todd Merkel, he's been having an up and down season, this season. He's had good runs, but he hasn't executed as well as he thought he would do. And he's had those chances of getting those wins, but something just wasn't clicking with that number 2 machine. So hopefully he could get it done here tonight in the final race of the season. We're just going to have to see how he does. As you see, he's struggling a little bit off of turn 2. It looked like his rear was coming around on him a little bit, but it looks like he's keeping it straight.
Todd Merkel comes into tonight 14th in points, with an opportunity to jump up at least 1 spot if he can get a good enough finish over Jonathan Casebeer, who does not appear to be here this evening. As Todd Merkel will go second fastest on his first lap. Eric Schaus, there he is. Car number 60, big wiggle coming out of turn 2 into the wall. That will end his lap. So the first lap is going to have to be good enough for Eric Schaus here, as he will look to have that time stand, but it will not, as Johnny Wood Jr. will jump up into the pole. Todd Merkel of 31.15 is only 2/100ths of a second off of Johnny Wood Jr.
And let's talk about this 750 Johnny Wood Jr. this season. He's won multiple poles, and where he won those poles, he also won those races. So if he can win the pole here tonight, could he be a threat to win tonight's race? Absolutely. He's been a dominant driver this whole season, and he's proven to us that he is capable to be behind a next-gen car.
Betters on his second lap of 31.08. Lilith Peters will go second quickest on her second lap. Maxwell Caldwell, points leader coming into tonight, looking for his third championship here this evening, will go fourth fastest here on his second lap. We'll see what Michael Matta can do. Matta caught the wall somewhere on his first lap. Second lap for Matta will go eighth quickest in car number 16. Raymond Kimmel is about done with his second lap as Derek Wegman starts his second lap. Wegman 14th quickest in that Halo Infinity number 39. Or Halo Infinite, pardon me.
See right there, currently in fourth spot right now in the qualifying session. You see right there, now fifth place, the 7 of Justin Lewis with a 31.22. Another competitive driver we've seen all season long. And most of these drivers, I expected all of these drivers actually to be inside the top 10 just based off their performance this whole season. So they're doing an excellent job.
Winner at Bristol last week. We'll see what he could do. He puts it on pole, a 31.08. So that's about as perfectly as you could ask for a start for Justin Lewis. Here's Trevor Dalton. And Dalton will go third quickest at a 31.09. So that Kodiak Pontiac will go P2. Here's P3, pardon me. Adam Lowe, fifth quickest on his first attempt. See what he can do on lap number 2. Coming out of 3 and 4, 35 seconds to go. And Lowe will go to the pole, a 31.02, a very good time for car number 58.
What a great way for that 58 machine to get the pole here. Just 20 seconds to go right there. You see the 44 Steven Johnson with a 31.18, currently 7th.
Now he has the longest shot at winning this championship here tonight. Again, 19 points out. He will start in 7th. All 5 of our championship contenders will start inside the top 10. So it is going to be a very competitive race here tonight from the word go. Let's take a look at the starting grid here for tonight's race. Adam Lowe with a time of 31.020 will sit on the pole and capture that final pole position of the season. Justin Lewis will line up to his outside of row number 1. Johnny Wood Jr. and Trevor Dalton will make up row 2 with Lilith Peters and Todd Merkel in row 3. Stephen Johnson and Joshua Yarborough will make up row number 4. Maxwell Caldwell and Ryan Kelly will sit in row 5. Eric Schaus and Raymond Kimmel will make up row 6. Row 7 goes to Will Solomon and Derek Wegman. Michael Matta and Chad Jones in row 8. Row 9 sees Brendan Cornoyer and Jeremy Flanagan, Ronnie Hurst and Johnny Lefevers Jr. in row 10. Nathan Harper, Matt Peltier, and Josh Tarrant Hill will make up 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. They will line up via their iRating after not setting a qualifying time. Weather conditions here for today's race, just past a quarter past noon here in sim time at Atlanta. Ambient temperature 78 degrees, but that track temperature is well up there, 113 degrees, with a very light wind blowing directly to the north. This is going to be not just a difficult track because of the nature of the racing surface that these guys are having to race on, but add a 113 degree track temperature to it. That's just going to make it even more difficult.
The hotter the track, the more slicker it's going to be. So we're going to have to see how these drivers can handle these track conditions here tonight from Atlanta.
And with that, we will go to the starting grid. There is Adam Lowe waiting for a couple of his championship competitors to get back onto the racing surface to grid up here. And we had talked a little bit off air, and I can't remember running the next-gen cars around this old surface for a long race, at least me personally. But I do remember, and I was telling you this before we got on here tonight, in the Gen 6 car, if you really worked those rear tires around here, you could very easily start slipping and sliding down the backstretch. Going straight halfway down the back, all of a sudden you'd start to lose the back end and you could really feel that car wiggle around. At 113-degree track temperature, racing for a championship, that might be something that these guys are going to have to face here tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be very crucial. You're going to have to see if this does happen with the next gen cars here at Atlanta. We know it happened with the old Gen 6. We're going to have to see if it happens with the Gen 7. Just going to have to keep a close eye on that, especially coming out of turn 2, going down the back straightaway.
We are, again, waiting on the last couple of drivers to jump in, and then we will get our grid sorted here. Then we will start to get the roll off here. Let's see if we can chat with one of these drivers here really quick. Let's see if we can talk to the driver of the number 27, Trevor Dalton. Trevor, you got us?
Well, hello.
Hello. You may not have the best chance at winning this championship, but 49 points out. If a lot of people have a bad day, you could still end up walking out of here with this title. What is your focus going into this race?
Knock the 7 into the 750, which takes out the 94 and the 1.
You're going to have to do that twice because there is a fast repair.
Yeah,
so.
Well, and then I'll get an EOL, and then I'll have to drive up. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd be happy if I could pull off a third. That pitting when I was second at that short track just kind of took my wind out of my sails.
How has this racetrack been? I'm sure you guys have been practicing over the course of the week. We saw in qualifying a couple of guys get loose, especially coming out of turn 2. How is this old surface feeling compared to what you're used to here in Atlanta?
Tires are going to be an issue, and getting off 2 is going to be troublesome. And it's like building tight. So even if you're faster and you get underneath somebody, it's going to be a bugger to pass and not take them out, either going up into them or spinning out, trying to keep it low off 2.
Now, one thing that we just spoke about is, remember how in the Gen 6 car, if you push the car a little bit too much, the rear tires, if they would overheat, you'd actually get loose down the back straightaway. Is that a problem that you're having with this car?
Haven't ran enough laps. I do remember that being an issue. It doesn't feel like that's going to be an issue. This was one of those tracks that I would see people take people out on restarts too. So kind of like Dover. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns with us not really running this track for a couple of years.
Well, Trevor, thank you very much for taking the time. Good luck here today. Hopefully everything goes your way. We'll be talking to you a little bit later on here tonight.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
So that was Trevor Dalton there. And again, so putting to rest some of the worries, which I'm sure is going to help out a lot of these drivers. And like I said, he's going to be hoping that a couple of cars get knocked around a little bit here tonight, and more than once.
I'm sure we're going to see something happen. I mean, a championship is on the line, so you just never know.
Oh, absolutely. As we're getting set to go racing here, wonder if we're going to be going another lap or not. This series has put down the extra pace laps here this season prior to the race, and they've confused us on more than one occasion. I think we finally learned to not assume anymore when it comes down to the green flag here for this series. We do have 100 laps getting set to take place here tonight. We are going to get the green coming to the line this time. Adam Lowe in front. Green flag is in the air. The season finale is on.
Both lanes getting a great launch there, but 50 of Adam Lowe using that inside line, hugging that white line. Now going to lose momentum, getting help from the 750 going down the back straightaway.
I think he maybe hit the apron coming down through turns 1 and 2, forced a little bit of a bobble, and now Justin Lewis will set sail up in the front with Trevor Dalton. They are 3 wide behind. Look, there's Lilith Peters battling to the outside of Maxwell Caldwell and to the inside of Joshua Yarborough. Gets clear of both going into turn 1.
We are going to see that 3 wide action on that front straightaway a lot more later on in this race, as you see right here, the 2 of Todd Merkel in front of the 94 Maxwell Caldwell, 2-time champion of the series. Could he get his 3rd? As you see, there's a battle for the lead. As you can tell, the 27 of Trevor Dalton putting pressure on the 7 of Justin Lewis.
Dalton getting in the wall coming out of turn 4. Lewis does lead the lap. But right now, that number 27 Kodiak Chevrolet holding that outside line has the momentum. Ooh, big wiggle out of Maxwell Caldwell there coming out of turn 2. Dalton clear to the lead. Lewis in second. Todd Merkel, who has a win here at Atlanta a couple of years ago, running in third. Teammate Maxwell Caldwell behind. Johnny Wood Jr., Lilith Peters, all here battling in the top 6.
Pretty much top 10 in the field is all single file right now, battling for position right there. As you see, the 27 of Trevor Dalton extending his lead out in front of the 7 of Justin Lewis coming down the back straightaway.
Trevor Dalton really starting to pull that lead out as Justin Lewis starting to fall back into the clutches of Todd Merkel, Maxwell Caldwell, Johnny Wood Jr. there as well. Lilith Peters also falling back a little bit. She's been very good at saving tires here in races like this, so I'm sure that's the strategy she is deploying now. A little bit further back through the field, Nathan Harper in that Dallas Cowboys number 20 machine, looking to do a little bit better than Dallas did yesterday. Looking to the inside is Raymond Kimmel for the final spot in the top 10.
Seeing some 2 wide action here, mid-pack going across the front straightaway. Looking to go 3 wide, but we're going to still say side by side at the 16 clear of the 20.
Only one driver did not start this race. That was Matt Peltier in car number 127. So only 22 drivers took the green. Here is our pole sitter, Adam Lowe. Now, Adam Lowe came down pit road, I believe, to serve a drive-through penalty for what I'm not entirely sure. But he is now in the back running in 22nd position, about 26.5 seconds off the race lead.
See right there, 27 of Trevor Dalton, now a 2.5 seconds in front of the 7 of Justin Lewis. Remember, Trevor is one of those drivers that can extend that lead out pretty far if he's out in that clean air. As you see right now, we have a big gap between first and second place.
One of those things that we always talk about, though, when you're out in front, you don't have a point of reference to see how hard you're pushing that car. So Trevor Dalton is being forced to be that point of reference, but also, as we mentioned, he's 49 points shy of being the championship leader right now. He doesn't have much of a choice. He's got to get out there and lead as many laps as he can and hope everything falls into place behind him.
You have to go big or go home tonight. You know, a championship is on the line. You got to do anything to claim that championship here. And we couldn't ask for a much better racetrack than Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's a challenging track due to the tire wear. You see other cars get loose coming out of the corners. You see some great 3-wide action going on, going down the front and the back straightaways. So we couldn't ask for a better track than Atlanta.
This was the old season ender for many, many years before it moved to Homestead Miami Speedway, and then finally to where it is now at Phoenix, as that lead now is starting to go the other way. or at least it was a moment ago, as Trevor Dalton was about 0.2 of a second slower than Justin Lewis a couple of laps ago. Not quite anymore. I see a lot of peeking, a lot of moving, but no passing really being done as Eric Schaus looks to the inside of Brendan Kornoyer. This is for 14th. As the 60 will get past the 55 coming through turn 4.
55 of Kornoyer. He is one of those drivers that have done very well this season. He's brand new, trying to get used to this next-gen car. He's doing an excellent job running mid-pack right now, but he has been in the front earlier on in the season. So he's doing a great job this season, just trying to collect everything, that data and whatnot, to get better and better each race.
Back up to the front, Trevor Dalton. How's your close-up? About 0.9 of a second now ahead of Justin Lewis, who's coming under fire from Johnny Wood Jr. As Wood running that high line was a preferred line around Atlanta for many years. And Justin Lewis, you can tell there's a championship on the line. Lap 12, I don't think Justin Lewis is making that kind of block if this was any other race.
And you're going to see the aggressive movers moving up towards the front, because that's where you're going to find them at. You see the 750 Johnny Wood Jr. They're very close to that outside wall, just barely tapping that almost. As you see right there, he is getting the runs that he needs to get past the 7 Justin Lewis coming off of corner X.
On board with Todd Merkel as Johnny Wood Jr. completes that pass. A little bit further behind, Ryan Kelly, that Dynaco number 13, getting in front of Joshua Yarborough. That is for the 6th position. Lilith Peters running that high line right behind them as well.
Lilith Peters was very close at winning last week at Bristol Motor Speedway. Had that car dominating. You see right there, she gets the wall a little bit. It's not going to do much for her, but she's still battling there in the 7th position, trying to get past the 13 Kelly for 6th. But the one of Lilith Peters is always there at the end, so it wouldn't shock me if she's on top 3 by the end of the night.
Did not pit going into the green-white checkered, got her track position in that number 1, but those who did pit were just a little bit too close. And Lilith Peters, instead of coming away with a win, came home with a 3rd, as here comes Maxwell Caldwell, looking to the inside of Todd Merkel. That is a battle for 4th position. By the way, Justin Lewis has gotten back around Johnny Wood Jr. and is now really starting to make inroads on Trevor Dalton. As, contact! As the 94 tried to slide up in between the 2 and the 13, didn't quite make it. And now Caldwell forced to jump back down to the bottom.
Gonna have to regroup, get that momentum going again for the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. He knows the championship's on the line. You can see it. He's trying to move forward as fast as possible. They're trying to get around the 2 of Todd Merkel and the 13 of Kelly right there. See, we're riding on board with the 94 of Caldwell.
And that inside of Todd Merkel. Caldwell pushing Merkel to a win a couple of seasons ago here. That was after Caldwell already had the championship locked up, though. Things are a little bit different this time around. Caldwell, while is leading the championship, needs every point he can get here tonight as we ride on board with our gyro cam. You can see Lilith Peters in that number 1 in the rearview mirror, poking, prodding, looking left, looking right, trying to get around Maxwell Caldwell. And they are going to split the number 2 of Todd Merkel. And Lilith Peters will get only 1 spot as Caldwell has the momentum off the high line.
What I'm seeing from these drivers is they're looking for different lanes, seeing how their car is handling. And I'm seeing more and more drivers go to that middle and top groove. And that is where the momentum is going to be, because you're going to want to get a good corner exit to try to get past the driver that you're battling with side by side. You see right now the one of Lilith Peters using that outside line, trying to get around the 2 of Todd Merkel. You see right there, she's really, really high up in that outside wall, barely touching it, and you see that corner exit that she gets.
10 points behind Maxwell Caldwell coming into this race. And the man she is trying to hunt down is right outside her windshield, Johnny Wood Jr. Running right now in the 4th position, coming under fire from Maxwell Caldwell. Justin Lewis now coming under fire from Ryan Kelly. Kelly's here looking for the win. Racing around drivers who are looking for the championship. And this gap here that Trevor Dalton has had, it has gotten as wide as a 1.5 seconds. It has gone down recently to as close as 0.4 of a second. It is now back up to 0.7 of a second as Justin Lewis has a big wiggle on the inside of turn 4. That will allow Ryan Kelly to get around and clear him in that number 13. Kelly up to 2nd.
These championship drivers battling for a championship here tonight, they will get frustrated if there are drivers in front of them that are not even competing for a championship, because, you know, those drivers are taking up those spots that they really need in order to win this championship here tonight. And you see right there, the Ryan Kelly in the 13 car, he's not here for a championship. He's just here to get a win. So he's like, who cares about a championship? I'm just here to have fun and win. When you see these other drivers really working really hard trying to get around him and get a championship. So it's frustrating between both drivers.
Chevrolet right now occupying the top 6 positions. And one thing I'm seeing right here with Justin Lewis, not a lot of play in that steering wheel. He is holding a very pretty wheel at the moment. We are just about a quarter of the way through here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Trevor Dalton now coming under fire from Ryan Kelly. Kelly looking to the inside, looking for the race lead. And Kelly not quite there. Dalton has led a vast majority of this race. Not this time, but we will take a quick break. We'll keep it side by side so you can see this fight here for the race lead here at the Merkel Racing Engines 500 from Atlanta. Big time drama here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You saw there during the break, Justin Lewis getting loose coming out of turn 4, hitting that outside wall. He's loose and into the wall again. That one a lot bigger. Keeping it straight, gets bumped by Schaus. A couple of drivers going through the grass to try to evade. But Justin Lewis is in some big trouble right now, and the sweep is looking less and less likely.
He is struggling right now with that car handling. I can see it right now. You saw the 60th Schaus almost rear-ending the 7 there on the front straightaway, trying to avoid him. But this is the second time now we saw Justin Lewis make contact with the outside wall coming off of turn 4. You gotta wonder, is he feeling the pressure now?
I don't think it's pressure. I think he's feeling some tire heat, really. Here he is through 3 and 4. This is this most recent time. You see him wiggling already. There through 3 and 4, having to try to catch it, and boy, it just snapped at the wrong time. There's the hit from Schaus. There's Michael Matta going through the grass. He is in some deep, deep trouble, and now Justin Lewis heads down pit road.
Not the night Justin Lewis imagined in the worst case situation right now, and we're still green flag racing. So he's gonna go a lap down here. You see he's getting service on pit road.
Oh, and he blows the box as well to add more insult to injury. Takes the fast repair, so he'll be good to go with a brand new car, fresh tires. He will be flying. But right now that does not mean much as Ryan Kelly out in front. Trevor Dalton second. Maxwell Caldwell. This third championship in 4 seasons has gotten a lot more clearer for car number 94. Lilith Peters running in 4th. Johnny Wood Jr. in 5th. The final of the championship hopefuls, Steven Johnson, right now currently running in the 9th position. He has not had the day that he was hoping for.
We expected the 44 Steven Johnson to be up there contending for the lead or inside the top 3 or top 5, but it's just not showing tonight. As you see, he's currently P9. Hopefully he can find something. As you see, he gets very loose there coming off of turn 2. Like I mentioned earlier on, we're going to see that happen because of the tire wear situation, but he knows these other drivers compete for a championship are in front of him. He's going to have to go and do something to go compete against them.
Came in 19 points shy of the points lead. Maxwell Caldwell jumping up into the 2nd position here around Trevor Dalton. Dalton has led much of this first bit of the race.
Look at the one that below Peters there, reeling in that 27 and 94, trying to get a run on them. You see the one at below Peters right now, currently P4, only 1 second back from our leader, Ryan Kelly, in that 13 machine. Once again, Ryan Kelly's only here to get a win. He's not competing for a championship tonight, but the 3 drivers behind him are competing for a championship, and they're all within a second of each other.
Ronnie Hurst has just come out of pit road. Justin Lewis is the first car 1 lap down at the moment. Here's a little battle. Focusing around Steven Johnson right now. Todd Merkel running in 7th. Joshua Yarborough 8th. Johnson 9th. Michael Matta 10th. As another big wiggle from Steven Johnson. Todd Merkel clips the grass. Allows Joshua Yarborough to get up to the outside of him. Michael Matta still on the outside of Steven Johnson. And
You can see this tire wear now coming into effect for most of these drivers. You see how their cars are handling. You see they're very loose going into the turns, coming off of the turns. You see the 44 with Steven Johnson going really high here to see if he can get a run around the 2 of Todd Merkel as he's battling side by side.
It's one of those things that iRacing wanted, multi-groove racing through the evolution of lines throughout the race. And we're certainly seeing it here on a racetrack where line evolution was a big thing. Another big catch by Steven Johnson. Johnny LaFevers has just jumped into pit road. Lap 33. he had a moment, as I don't believe we're going to be able to see it here. Let's try this again. Yeah, no, he must have had a spin somewhere. Either a spin or a disconnection somewhere. And Lefever's now just getting back onto the racetrack. There he is in that Western Auto number 35, currently running in the 22nd position. He is 4 laps down currently at the moment.
See right there, Ryan Kelly, net 13 machine, leading laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Almost a second over the 94 of Caldwell, but Caldwell reeling back in that 13 machine, trying to get the race lead here on lap 40.
Kelly has a nice 7/10 of a second lead. One driver that has moved up quite a bit here in this race is that number 20 of Nathan Harper. Harper currently running in the 6th position, making his series debut here in the final race of the year in that number 20 Dallas Cowboys Ford Mustang. Nathan Harper up 15 spots from where he started back in the 21st position. So it has been quite a run for that number 20 thus far.
Having a very solid night. Hopefully we get to see Nathan Harper more in that 20 machine in next season's events. As you see right there, the 7 of Justin Lewis, who is a lap down, trying to get through this pack here to get his lap back, but the night's not shaping out for him so far, Frank.
Justin Lewis is about 5 seconds away from unlapping himself. Still has to get through Johnny Wood Jr., Lilith Peters, Trevor Dalton, Maxwell Caldwell, you know, the guys that he's racing for a championship. And then Ryan Kelly. Right now, Ryan Kelly, last time around, Ryan Kelly did a 32.76, which is a second off of his fastest lap. Justin Lewis, 31.72. So
you
Justin Lewis is flying.
He is flying. You can see the advantages from new tires to old tires. It's a whole second difference. So you do have the advantages, and you're going to want to try to save up that set of tires because you can see the advantage that's giving the 7 of Justin Lewis right now getting through this pack here. As you see, we got a nice battle going on. 4 cars all competing with each other inside the top 10, trying to get around each other.
Joshua Yarborough, watch out, has gotten around Nathan Harper, who has a big save in a very awkward spot, doesn't touch anything or anyone.
Great save by the 20 there of Nathan Harper, making his debut here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. No incidents, no cautions. We have had a long green flag run here on lap 44 out of 100 here, as we're going to take a look at this replay.
Watch how out of shape he gets here. Comes out of the corner. Big wiggle, catches it there. Oh, this was the lap before. Harper, by the way, has come into the pits now. Let's see this again here. There he is. Big wiggle, just misses Johnson. Johnson goes to the grass. Michael Matta holds firm. What a save. Great job there by Nathan Harper. Raymond Kimmel also coming down pit road in car number 412. There he is. And if you saw there, yep, there it is. Justin Lewis has officially unlapped himself. So Justin Lewis is back on the lead lap, running in the 17th position. He needs a caution imminently.
He is praying for a caution right now. A caution would do so much for his 7 car. He's back on the lead lap. He can compete for a championship, get through the field once again. As you see, he unlapped himself there on lap 46 out of 100. Now currently on lap 47 with the 13 of Ryan Kelly still leading a second over the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. And you see right there the 44 Steven Johnson currently currently 7th. As you see, he got very loose, almost got tagged there by the 16 of Michael Matta, but keeps it straight.
That could have been very big and very bad for one of the 5 drivers that we are watching here in this fight for the championship. I'm sure he's trying to suck it up and go a couple extra laps to get to halfway. You mentioned, Daniel, a long green flag run. We have yet to have a caution here in this race. There is Josh Tarrant-Hill, who we will hear from a little bit later on tonight after this race has completed. In the 8 car, just coming out of pit road, Derek Wegman is down pit road now. Ryan Kelly catching the wall there. He is 1.3 seconds ahead of Maxwell Caldwell, who at the moment would be the champion. Caldwell running in second. Trevor Dalton 7/10 behind in third. Lilith Peters another 7/10 behind in fourth. Johnny Wood Jr. has fallen completely away. He is 2.5 seconds behind Lilith Peters in the 750. And he is a 1.5 clear of this battle that we've been going back to every now and again as Lilith Peters becomes becomes the first of the championship 5 to come down pit road. And I think she might be staying there a little while as she takes out the pit entry cone.
That was very close for one of Lilith Peters. And what we mentioned earlier on, Frank, in this pre-race is you want to eliminate mistakes, because any mistake that you make can put you in a deep hole here for competing for a championship. And we saw that with the 7 Justin Lewis, but he has grown back. He's back up front. He's not a lap down. He's currently 12th right now. So he dug himself out of the hole. But now the one of Lilith Peters made that mistake on pit road, which could cost her a championship. We're going to have to see how this plays out.
Lilith Peters, unsafe pit entry. She will be held in the box for 40 seconds.
Oh, man. It's a big penalty.
Michael Matta, Eric Schaus, Steven Johnson coming in. Oh, Johnson's had a big impact. That's
Looks
a
like
lot of damage on the 44.
A broken toe link. That's the right front there.
And
Not
fortunately,
quite sure what happened.
Fortunately for Steven Johnson, it was right in the pit window, so he's not going to lose a horrendous amount of time. Well, let's see if we can follow Steven Johnson here and see what happened. Oh, he's already down and off of it here. Let's go back a little bit further. He's going into turn 1, apparently. Oh, still not back far enough. Third time lucky. Let's see again. Oh, big heavy contact with Michael Matta. Oh, and Eric Schaus caught into it as well. All right, now that we know where we are, let's start this whole transfaction over again here. You know, coming out of turn 4, Matta gets loose, Johnson gets loose. They just both got loose into each other. And then there's Eric Schaus hitting the back of the 16.
There's nothing you can do there. If you're both loose, you just got to go along for the ride at that point. And there's really not much you can do, because if you overcorrect it too much, you're going to spin yourself out. As you see right there, the 13 of Ryan Kelly come down the pit road, locks it up.
He locked it up after he crossed that line, too. I wouldn't be surprised if Kelly is going to get caught with a penalty here. Trevor Dalton, Johnny Wood Jr., Joshua Yarborough down pit road. Brendan Kornoyer coming in this time as well. Maxwell Caldwell, currently your race leader. He has stayed out the longest of the championship competitors. Justin Lewis, 24 seconds adrift, now currently running in third, but at a major tire disadvantage as Maxwell Caldwell now comes down pit road. Ryan Kelly does avoid a pit penalty as William Solomon will now inherit the race lead. There is Justin Lewis, 10 seconds behind Solomon. He is currently running in second. Nathan Harper at the moment will be in third. Ryan Kelly fourth. Trevor Dalton fifth. Johnny Wood Jr. sixth. As Caldwell is down and away, we'll see where he slots in. Should be around eighth would be my guess. Up there he is in ninth. Watch, don't get the pit exit penalty. Comes Joshua Yarborough coming through. Caldwell, a little bit of a longer stop, 21.27 seconds for Maxwell Caldwell, probably repairing some damage. So he will just stay on the lead lap in the ninth position. William Solomon has not yet come down pit road here in this Bass Pro Shops number 19 Toyota Camry. We'll take a quick break and be right back as more trouble hits more of the Championship 5 here in Atlanta. Back here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, final race of the season for the Cup Series, and right now, one man is screaming a caution, my kingdom for a caution. Justin Lewis, who had spun and needed to take a fast repair back on lap 31, is in desperate need of a caution, going a second slower than the rest of the field to get back on cycle. Ryan Kelly has just gotten up into the second position. Trevor Dalton has just passed Nathan Harper for third. Johnny Wood Jr., another one of the championship hopefuls, running in fifth. Maxwell Caldwell, after a longer pit stop, is in eighth. Steven Johnson having an incident on the lap prior to him coming in has put him towards the back, running in the 16th position, and Lilith Peters, an unsafe pit entry penalty, has seen her go 1 lap down. So 3 of the 5 championship hopefuls that we have seen here in this race have all had issues.
And this is very crucial. You know, all these championship drivers didn't want to have any issues here tonight. And now look where they are. They're all having issues. You see the 7 of Justin Lewis. If he doesn't get a caution anytime soon, it's going to backfire on him. And it's not going to look good on him. And you see the 1 of Wolf Peters a lap down. And right now you see the in 6th place is Caldwell, a 2-time champion. And it's going in his favor. So every driver so far is not having a great night, but they're not out of the woods yet. It's not over.
If it were to end the way it is right now, Justin Lewis would be the champion. However, there are still 34 more laps to go, and Justin Lewis, more likely than not, is going to have to pit, and he will certainly not maintain the lead that he has. When we went to break, his lead was 10 seconds. It is now down to 1.7. So that lead is really falling down right now. Here is the recent lap times between Justin Lewis and Ryan Kelly, and you can see they are not pretty. Kelly is gaining 1.3 seconds a lap on Justin Lewis right now.
And you can see that some Justin Lewis, he's struggling handling his car right now in the turns. You can see him like nudging the wheel a little bit, but he's running that high line, but it's just not happening. Now he's down to like 4/10 of a second. And you see right there, the 13 of Ryan Kelly is literally in his mirror on his bumper within a matter of 2 more corners. So the 7 Justin Lewis, it's just not going to work out.
Lewis is going to have to come into pit again. Everyone else managed at least 50 laps on their fuel and tires. Justin Lewis is going to have to try to manage 70 if he doesn't want to come into pit again. So I would have to assume that he will have to pit one more time. And again, he needs a caution in the worst way right now. That is something we have not had here tonight. Is now Trevor Dalton, who was the championship dark horse coming into this race, led a good portion of the opening stint of this race, now up in second. Came in 49 points adrift of a championship. He's done everything he's needed to do here tonight. He's been in the top 3 the entirety of the race. Unfortunately, guys like Maxwell Caldwell and Johnny Wood Jr., who are now line astern, have not had the bad nights that he needed them to have.
These 2 drivers have not made any mistakes, haven't been in any incidents tonight, and it's looking pretty good for these 2 drivers tonight. And they're just trying to capitalize on what they can do right now. You see we're on lap 71 out of 100, so we are getting into those closing laps pretty soon here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Caution-free race. I've seen excellent driving from all of these drivers here tonight. As you see the 94 Maxwell Caldwell in 5th and the 750 of Wood Jr. in 6th. As you see, they're trying to get inside the top 3.
Let's talk about the season that Maxwell Caldwell has had here for a second. Opened up the season finishing 34th at Daytona. Round number 2 at Michigan. Did not fare all that much better. Finished 25th, 9 laps down. Then the crowning moment, you thought he was back at Kansas, round number 3 of the season, comes home with the win. Then we go to Twin Ring Motegi, finishes 3rd when he was leading late in the race. Going to Pocono now, round 5, finishes 4th. Another race that he probably could have won. Going to Iowa, Caldwell, I believe, if I remember correctly, had a moment late in the race, finished 18th. Charlotte, to open up the second half of the season, Caldwell comes home in the 18th position. Talladega has a solid run going for most of the race, ends up finishing in 5th. Nashville Fairgrounds, he was up towards the front, but a pit road speeding penalty relegated him back to 5th. Didn't have enough time to make up the gap. Then you go to Indianapolis, finishes in 5th. Last week at Bristol, was up towards the front, spun while leading the race with Adam Lowe, ends up recovering and does finish 2nd. So he has had a pretty decent season, but with the way this year started, finishing 28th, I said, at Daytona, and then 25th at Michigan, this season looked like it was going to be off the rails for Maxwell Caldwell, and he's turned it into a championship caliber run.
And you see that from a lot of these drivers. You see them have bad starts in the season, and they're racing for a championship at the end of the season, or vice versa. And that's just what happens in racing. And you gotta try your best. You know, you're not gonna be great at every track, but you're gonna have to try your best at every track. And we go to a variety of tracks where you can be good on super speedways and road courses, or be bad on road courses and mile-and-a-half tracks. So there's a variety of tracks that give advantages to mostly all of these drivers that are capable behind of these Cup cars.
We have not quite seen yet a schedule come out for season 37. We do know we will be a part of it, as Justin Lewis now will lose a spot to Nathan Harper. And again, Lewis is just begging for a caution at this point. Maxwell Caldwell right there as well. Johnny Wood Jr. about a second off. There's Ronnie Hurst. He's had a couple of incidents here tonight. He's running in running 20th position right now, 5 laps down. As everyone has more or less spread out. Johnny Lefevers Jr., by the way, done after 36 laps here tonight. Jeremy Flanagan has been on pit road for the last 12 and a half minutes in 21st. So right now, those are the two drivers that did not finish this race, or will not finish this race. Matt Peltier did not start this race, as Caldwell jumps up into 4th, jumps up into a championship winning position.
Maxwell Caldwell looking for his 3rd title in the SCL Winston Cup Series, and it's looking pretty good right now. Going on lap 80 out of 100. Well, we're going down to these closing laps here. Green flag runs all night long. Great passages and multi-grooves here from the Land Motors Speedway. And I couldn't ask for anything better here tonight, Frank.
No, we talked about it during the first break. It's been a season. It's been a tale of 2 seasons for this series. You know, we started off the season averaging about 12 cautions per race. Then out of nowhere, you get a caution-free race at Twin Ring Motegi, as Johnny Wood Jr. now trying to get around Justin Lewis here for 5th. You get the caution-free race at Motegi. Then we're back to getting 11, 12, 13 cautions a race. And over these last couple of races, we've only had about a handful of races. I mentioned it while we were getting all those cautions, that's not how this series runs. I know it. And because we've seen and we've called better races for this series. This is what I was alluding to. This series has gone right back to doing what it knows how to do. Clean green flag racing, and it's been an absolute joy to watch and cover this series the second half of the year.
And this season went by very fast. You saw it energized first season. You saw it energized in the second half of the season. And putting it all together, we just couldn't ask for a better season here in SCL Cup Series. I'm looking forward to next season too. Just don't know when or what the schedule's going to look like, but that is what we're looking forward to. And with just 19 laps to go, Ryan Kelly's been dominating pretty much almost all of this race, besides Trevor Dalton, that's been leading the first 20 laps earlier on in this race.
My assumption would be the season will not start until the middle or the end of January. Again, we have no schedule, no dates that we can give you for season 37, I should say. But we know, again, we will be a part of it. We'll be bringing you the action, hopefully, for all 3 series again next season. Not quite sure what the Tuesday series is going to be. That series is kind of been, that night I should say, has been more on a rotation between different series. As Ryan Kelly, at least for the moment, appears to have this race on lockdown.
1.5 second lead over second place 27 of Trevor Dalton. We interviewed Trevor earlier on before we got the green flag, and he was a little skeptical on how tonight would go. He wasn't sure if he would be contending up here in the top 3, and it looks like he is going to contend for the top 3 here tonight with just 17 laps to go. Spokane.
Been a fixture up in the top 3 in the podium positions all night long. Has led a couple laps as that appeared to be Eric Schaus. That was slow and possibly damaged. Yeah, there he is, slow coming out of turn 4 and through the quad oval. So Eric Schaus might be coming to pit road here in the not so distant future.
You can see that front end nose getting pushed in there, right in the center there of that Ford Mustang, and that's going to cause aero damage to that 60 of Eric Schaus. He's going to have to come down pit road eventually. As you see him coming out turn 4, heading to pit road right now.
That front end damage was back from the incident, and there's a unsafe pit entry penalty to add to his woes. As we see Joshua Yarborough trying to get around Nathan Harper now for the top 5 position.
Okay, well, let's talk about Nathan Harper making his debut at Atlanta Motor Speedway, running inside the top 10, having a great night tonight. I thought he was going to contend for a win earlier on. He was in the top 3. He's proven to us that he can race around these other elite drivers here in the Cup Series. So that's a good sign, and we're hopefully going to see him next season in season 37 at Daytona. And I can't wait to see how this driver improves after each and every race.
See how close he was getting there with Joshua Yarborough. You can see out the window net some of our onboard cameras that we've had on offer all season long. As Yarborough following the line of Nathan Harper. Coming to the start-finish line, 13 laps to go here in this season. As this is a pretty good fight here between Harper. Harper's got that preferred line for the momentum on the outside. Joshua Yarborough trying to take that shorter way around, but as we've seen all season long, you really want a big corner entry, and with how slippy and slidey this racetrack has been here tonight, you can't really get it. Until now, apparently, as Joshua Yarborough does get up into the 5th position.
Yarborough is one of those drivers that really fight for positions, and he doesn't give them up very easy either. It is very hard to get around that 77 machine, and we've seen it throughout the season. Here, as you see, the 20 get loose and into the wall in turns 1 and 2. Going to lose his momentum. He's going to have to try to get that back.
I don't know if you noticed there on the little weather tab that we had on the right side of the screen, track temperature has gone up. It was 113 at the start of the race. It is now 122. So these guys are on a very, very hot surface as we see Justin Lewis continuing to fall back here. Not sure when or if he's going to have to come in again. As right now, Lewis in the, big wiggle, big slide, lock it down, keeps it straight. I think that might have been the call.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say that's probably the call to come down pit road. And I mentioned earlier on in pre-race, coming off at turn 2, you're going to see drivers get loose, lock it up a little bit. That's exactly what we saw with the 7 Justin Lewis, but it doesn't look like he's going to come down pit road, which I think might be a mistake.
I think the car was trying to warn him, and just like any true race car driver, he did not heed the warning that the car was giving him. Now really having to back off here as here comes Eric Schaus. This is not for position, nor is Michael Matta behind him. However, Will Solomon, Chad Jones, and Brendan Cornoyer are for position. As there goes Cordoyer in the 55, past Chad Jones. And now William Solomon looking to the inside. He will take that ninth position away from Justin Lewis. Again, Lewis came into this race 8 points behind Maxwell Caldwell, looking for a championship. I don't know how upset he could be here tonight, knowing that he's got a 20-point lead in one of the Tuesday night series, a 30-point lead in the other, and a 20-point lead in the truck series on Wednesday night. So he's got 3 championships this week that he's going to take home. But I'm sure the clean sweep was on the mind, and unfortunately things did not go his way tonight.
We did hear from Justin Lewis earlier on in the season when I interviewed him, and he said he does very well in the other series throughout the week with the SCL. And he said the Cup Series, he's been struggling a little bit. He just didn't find his grounds in the Cup Series this season. He said that he's looking to build off of this momentum that he made this season into next season and hopefully contend for a championship again. But he said no matter what happens, as long as he wins a championship, he's happy. So I can understand what he's talking about. You know, he's trying to build that foundation, prove himself that he's better next season. But he did mention that this Cup Series, he's struggling a little bit than the other series that he's in.
3 wins this season for Justin Lewis, same as Johnny Wood Jr., tied for the most here in this season as Brendan Cordoyer gets loose coming out of turn 4 and does some mowing. Brendan Cordoyer does not lose a position. He was already behind William Solomon. Not missing anything up front, by the way. Ryan Kelly has a 2.2 second lead. There he is on Trevor Dalton running in second. Dalton has 7.2 seconds on Maxwell Caldwell, who has a 1.5 seconds on Johnny Wood Jr. Joshua Yarborough is 3.5 seconds behind Johnny Wood Jr. There's your top 5. Nathan Harper a further 2.5 behind Yarborough. Merkel is almost 4 seconds behind Harper. Solomon 3 seconds behind Merkel. Cornoyer a 1.5 seconds now behind Solomon. Jones 2 seconds behind Cornoyer, but the battle is on here for the final spot in the top 10 as Derek Wegman continues to move his way forward. He's gotten past Justin Lewis for 12th. Now looking to get into the top 10 by passing Chad Jones, as Jones wiggling away through turns 1 and 2. Wegman will have a look.
See right there, the 39, looking to the inside of the 75 of Chad Jones with just 3 laps remaining here at Atlanta Speedway. Can he get inside the top 10? Well, he's got 3 laps to figure that out. As you see now, he's using that outside line. He's going to side draft, trying to get a good corner exit here, but there he goes. Let's see if he can do it.
Wegman on that high line. Chad Jones getting down to the bottom, trying to keep that momentum down there. Not able to for the moment, as Wegman will slip on by. White flag is in the air for Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly has run a couple of races this season, but tonight has proven his dominance and ability to save those tires. He has done a fantastic job of it all evening, taking the lead just about 30 laps into the event. Ryan Kelly crosses the line. He will win the Merkel Racing Engine's 500 here at Atlanta. But all eyes now turn to turn 4 as Maxwell Caldwell crosses the line. He will win the Season 36 Cup Series Championship.
Great job by the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. Has been having an up and down season. Didn't start off well, but ends up on a high note here tonight. A 3-time champion in the SCL Winston Cup Series. What a great job this 94 has done. He has proven to us that he is the best of the best this season, and we couldn't ask for anything better to season out of the 94 camp. You see right there, 750 of Johnny Wood Jr. finishing 4th, and the 7 of Justin Lewis not having a night he wanted. Peters also having struggles here tonight. Those drivers have not had the night that they wanted to, but it all lands in the 94's favor here tonight.
It has been a long season, a lot of twists, a lot of turns, but they have all come to meet here in one place. Start-finish line here in Atlanta as the 2 winners here tonight, with nose-to-nose burnouts. And right now we will begin with our champion, Maxwell Caldwell. Max, 3 championships in 4 years, 4 seasons. That ain't too bad, bud. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, guys. Holy crap, I'm tired.
Before we look back at the season that was, let's go into this race. No cautions, a very interesting racetrack here tonight, up at 122-degree track temperature. A lot of drivers getting loose. How difficult was it, especially without the break of a caution?
Again, I'm tired. Like, it was difficult. I knew this was a possibility, but I thought with how loose it was, I thought we would have 1 caution or 2. Really glad it didn't. And even though I made a major mistake on my pit stop, still somehow came back to get 3rd. I knew coming into tonight, all I had to do was finish ahead of the guys in points. I just had to be a position ahead on track, and I'd have it. So, 3rd place, it's good. But no, tonight was tough. I mean, it would have been nice to have a little break, but then we'd have probably started wrecking them big time. So, glad we didn't. Interesting race here at the end, and as slippy and slidey and fun as that was, I think I still like the new Atlanta a little bit better.
Now, we spoke during the race about how your season had gone. You started off the season finishing 34th at Daytona, 25th at Michigan. Did you have any thought after those 2 races that you would be sitting here now a 3-time champion?
No. Really thought it was going to be gone. Really thought it was going to be gone. It's just one of those deals, man, with 3 drop weeks. I mean, everybody, I guess, had some bad stuff. So, it was, sorry, I'm still processing everything, so I'm kind of scatterbrained right now. But it was, I thought we had no chance, especially after some of these races where I've gotten took out or wrecked out. Michigan is still salt in the wound here for me. That was when some new rules had got implemented that since got redacted. But, you know, one incident, I got parked in that race when I was able to run top 5. That would have been a major game changer still. But to come back from all that attrition, man, Daytona, I blew myself up. I downshifted when I didn't need to and popped the motor. Took myself out there. But Michigan, man, I wish I could have that all over again just because some weird rule with a penalty kind of forced me to get admin parked for the event. So, no, to come back, though, and finish this last half of the season when they changed some of these rules back, man, I don't know about y'all, but this racing got intense. It was awesome. There were times I didn't feel good at all, like Indy. I was the second to slowest car on lap time. It was terrible, but just attrition, man. Just making sure to capitalize on other people's mistakes. And even tonight, making a big mistake that could have took us out. But coming back from that, man, it just shows how you got to stick with it till the very end. But I believe in my time in SCL, this was the tightest battle coming in. So it was absolutely insane knowing how fast these other guys were here and just having to make sure I played the chess match right.
Beat out Johnny Wood Jr. by 24 points at the end of the day. Now, typically, this is where I would ask you, what do you think going into next week? But right now, we're going into season 37. You're a 3-time champion. What are the goals? I'm sure to do it again in season 37 next year.
Absolutely. I really thought we could. I mean, last season, thought I was out of it big time. Had a bunch of events I had to miss over the summer, but somehow came back from that and was able to be, what, I think second or third in points, something like that. I think it was third, but just barely. I think it was me, Justin, and Lilith going for that one. So we were somehow or another in somewhat contention. It was a long shot last season, but we were somewhat there. But even this season, I just thought we had too much bad races at the start and came back. So next season, minimize the bad races, minimize the mistakes. And honestly, at the plate races, if we can get our team to work a little better, not saying we don't, it's just learning not to go for the race win all the time on each other instead of just sticking with each other and getting the top fives there. If we can do that, man, I think we got another shot at it again next season. So, but this was definitely the hardest one I think I've had to fight for. So, especially as loose and crazy as this track was.
All right. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, absolutely, man. First and foremost, got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I know I've had some frustrations and probably said things on air I shouldn't have. Got a message from a fellow driver, actually, after the race last week at Bristol when I was a little frustrated with y'all, and he reminded me who I serve. So thankful for my Lord and Savior, though, for allowing me to meet these incredible people, to have fun every Monday night. Though I'm competitive and I can get frustrated like they do in real life, man, it's just a blessing to still be here and get to run with these guys. Also, got to thank my teammates, Todd Merkel, Justin Lewis, Austin Cole, not here tonight, Trevor Dalton, and longtime friend Ryan Kelly, who only runs a couple of these a season with us, but he likes Atlanta. And if you can't tell, he dominated. So he's very, very, very good here. But I knew when he came, I was like, great, I don't have to worry about these other championship guys winning. Like, he can kind of take that and kind of keep the points a little tighter. But, no, he had a great car tonight, so congrats to him for sure. And thankful for my sponsors, Under Pressure Power Washing Systems. Thankful for their sponsorship, and Merkel Racing Engines, man. We, yet again, won the Merkel Racing Engines 150. I don't have them on the main hood. I'm kind of superstitious a little bit with paints, so this one's been doing good, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I kind of left it, but we got Merkel Racing Engines represented on the car here tonight, and thankful for Todd and his sponsorship, not only of the team, but the league as well. I mean, he does a lot for SCL, and it shows. So glad to get his car up here at the front, and seems to always get some of his cars up front here in the Merkel Racing Engines 150. So glad for that, and finally got to thank the admins and the team at SCL. Man, once we got through the beginning part of the season and got rid of some, man, I don't think the admins will care that I say this, some really weird, almost junk rules that got made, and we kind of went back to what worked. Man, it's been such a fun season ever since. So congrats to them guys for the hard work and dedication they put in. Looking forward to next season's schedule. Justin won the championship and got us to run at this place. So I'm hoping maybe I can have some pull on a track next season. I'm going to try to use that excuse. But no, thankful for Adam and Josh for everything they do for the league. And Race Control admins is too. They have a hard job. But luckily they didn't have to make any calls, I don't think, tonight. So that's good. And then finally, you guys. Man, I had some of my buddies last week watch that Bristol race for the first time, and they said, man, these guys are really good. And I was like, yeah, they are. I was like, Frank and Daniel, man, they're pretty good up there in the booth. So got some extra viewers out of that this season. And, man, I hope they watched here tonight because we somehow pulled off that championship. That pit road penalty or mistake, I don't know how I got away with that. But, man, we come back and got third, and that's all she wrote.
Well, Max, congratulations. 3-time champion here in the SCL Winston Cup Series. Congratulations. Enjoy the time off, and we'll see you in season 37.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone out there, and thank you guys again. We're going to burn this thing down now.
Same to you, bud. Congratulations. So that was Maxwell Caldwell. We'll now go to our race winner, Ryan Kelly. Ryan, a solid race for you, I would say, leading the most laps out in front quite convincingly here throughout most of this race tonight.
Yeah, had a good time. The car was a handful, but you were able to run the top and the bottom, so he made it pretty good on passing, and yeah, had a pretty good race.
We've spoken about it a lot here on SRM. The new update, the new oval package that iRacing has brought in with this update, with the changing line, the lines constantly changing and needing to hunt for grip. This is a track that kind of did that already anyway. How did it feel trying to find the grip here tonight at this place?
Yeah, I think the update just enhanced it because I know in practice I was finding the most speed on the top, and then earlier in the race I started finding speed on the bottom, and later in the race I was right around the bottom the whole time. So I think it was definitely changing throughout the entire session, and it just gave more opportunities to find speed and pass.
We know you're a very limited driver here. What are your plans going into season 37? Are you going to try to make more of these, or are you still just more of an every now and then kind of guy?
Yeah, just running these part-time. I always have a blast when I'm here, though. These guys are a bunch of great drivers, and caution-free tonight, that's just a testament to how good these guys are.
Yep, absolutely. And anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, first off, just congrats to Maxwell on the championship. And thanks to all the teammates tonight. A nice race to Trevor running up front there. And a great season for these guys. And also thanks for Merkel Racing Engines for sponsoring the race, and all the SCL guys that put on the show. And you guys up in the booth.
All right, Ryan Kelly, your race winner here tonight, bud. Congratulations, and hope to see you again next season.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll go now to our second place finisher, Trevor Dalton. Well, Trevor, not everything that you needed to go wrong tonight did. You got some of it, though. A solid second place finish, led some laps. I don't think you could have asked for too much more than that here tonight.
I'm actually freaking ecstatic with this finish. I mean, that's that was pretty good for. I'm very happy with the finish.
Came out of here, quick math, I think 44 points shy of winning the championship here tonight. Going into next season, I'm sure going to be looking a little bit more consistency, maybe looking to get up and stay up front a little bit more.
And not pit out of second place. Because I think I might have had the championship if I got that second.
Oh, with the drop, well, maybe with the drop weeks, very possibly could have. But about this race tonight, caution-free, very free race car, very hot racetrack. Didn't get the break of a caution. How tiring was this race here tonight?
I usually race pretty comfortably, like your hand's not just completely gripping the steering wheel. My hand hurts. That coming out of two. I was like lockjaw on the steering wheel. It was like, and I think my parents are probably watching, but it was like Dad with my driver's permit and white knuckle on the passenger armchair over there.
Oh man. Okay, so going into next season now, we haven't seen a start date or a schedule come up yet. But what are your expectations, goals, hopes going into season 37?
Just keep working on consistency. I mean, it always seems like I can hang up front and be in contention. But a few mistakes and a few poor decisions. I think I had probably 2 or 3 races where bad pit calls just kind of blew me up, and then a few instances of just kind of bad luck or inattentive driving by others.
All right, Trevor. Anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, Merkel Engines for sponsoring it, the SCL crew for putting this on. Great group of guys. You guys in the booth, really appreciate you. Congrats to Max on a hard fought season, champion again. I'll have to listen to him brag about it for another year. Which
Well,
is a little better than having to listen to Justin brag about it. So, all right, yeah, we're good.
You just got some ammo if you win it for next season, though. So, Justin, good luck in season 37. We will see you then, bud.
Thanks, guys.
And with that, we'll bring in one more guy here into the fold, as we will bring in Josh Terrett-Hill, who is the head admin here for SCL. Josh, I'm sure 14th place plus 9 positions, a solid run for you here tonight. First, before we look at the bigger picture, how was the race from your perspective?
Most of the night it was just hanging on. I just took it really easy at the beginning, saved my stuff, I figured everybody was going to pit at lap 50. I went in 4 laps early to get a couple track positions on them, and I was just kind of battling for lucky dog rest of the race. But it was a cool race. Cool to see it go green flag like that. I'm sure might have been a little boring up in the booth for you guys.
No, certainly was not. We certainly had enough to keep our eye on here this evening. Now we go into season 37, another very successful season. Going to be getting used to doing these interviews. I think you're going to have a couple of them here tonight. A couple of them here this week, I should say. Anything you want to promote, say about this season, season 37, whatever you want, sir, the floor is yours.
Just a big thanks to all the guys that came out and ran every week with us, and even the ones that ran more of a part-time schedule. We had some really good racing, as you guys saw, all year long. Very excited about what the future might hold for us. Might be a couple of big things that we can announce shortly, but can't do it right now. But just very glad for the guys that come and race every week, because that's what makes up the league and makes it a good, fun place to race. So hopefully we'll continue that in the future.
All right, Josh, congratulations on another very successful season, and we will see you for season 37.
Yeah, league owner was way more successful than driver this season.
Well, I'm sure another season to go, so I'm sure we'll be talking to you more next season, but congratulations.
All right, guys, thanks. We'll see you live on the SCRN tomorrow night.
And those races that he was talking about tomorrow night, the late model stocks and the street stocks both will be at Five Flags Speedway tomorrow night, and we'll be back here on Wednesday night for the championship in the Super Truck Series. So, Daniel, one hell of a race that we saw here tonight. We did see a couple of incidents. Everyone was mostly able to keep it straight, though. Just a great race all the way around, pardon me. And a third championship in 4 seasons for Maxwell Caldwell. Just an unbelievable way to finish out this season for car number 94.
It was a great season. It was a great season for season 36 here in the SCL Winston Cup Series. And for a 3-time champion for the 94 Maxwell Caldwell, we could say, like we did earlier on in the season when we started at Daytona, this guy's not going to be in the championship. Well, his cards literally flipped around, and now he's a 3-time champion. So he's had that up and down season, but it turned out in his favor, and he's proven to us over and over again that he is a very talented driver when it comes to these different various tracks that we go to. And we did see some championship drivers struggle tonight, and we saw a lot of penalties happen too to those championship drivers. You saw some speeding on pit road. You saw them missing the commitment line. on pit road, and you saw multiple drivers go lap down, and they dug themselves out of that hole. Some did, some didn't. And, it ended up in the 94 of Caldwell's favor. And we couldn't ask for a better season. I know season 37 is going to be even more better. And I can't wait to get back to Daytona, see a new season of SCL Winston Cup Series action, and see what these drivers can do.
Well, from rumor and innuendo would have it that the season will be starting in February next season. So we will take the rest of the month off naturally in the entirety of January. They will be running some recruitment races during the off season as well. So possibly in February is when we will get this series back for season 37. Wherever they may be, I am sure we will be there. As now let's take a look at the finishing results for the season finale here at Atlanta. Ryan Kelly takes the final win of season 36. Trevor Dalton, Maxwell Caldwell, Johnny Wood Jr., Joshua Yarborough, your top 5. Nathan Harper, Todd Merkel, William Solomon, Brendan Cornoyer, and Derek Wegman, the top 10. Chad Jones, Stephen Johnson, Adam Lowe, Josh Tarrant-Hill, and Michael Matta down to 15th. Lilith Peters, Justin Lewis, Raymond Kimmel, Eric Schaus, Ronnie Hurst down to 20th. Jeremy Flanagan, Johnny Lefevers did not finish this race here tonight. Matt Peltier did not start. He was the race admin here for this race tonight. So that will do it for us here tonight and for season 36. For my broadcast partner, Daniel Paulus Jr., I am Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening all season long. We will see you possibly in February for the start of season 37 for the SCL Winston Cup Series. And remember, as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.